What is up, guys? So today in this video, I'm gonna be doing a WWE 2K25 universe mode, and I made this show called Bray's Funhouse in remembrance of Bray Wyatt, and we're gonna see who can stay champion and who gains the champions. So right here are the champions right now. We got for hardcore champion, we got Penta. Women's champion, we got Rhea. The other women's champion, we got Stephanie Vakir. Our tag team champion is Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. And our female women's tag team champions are Damage Control, or the Kabuki Warriors, which is Kairi Sane and Asuka. Then we got CM Punk for the WWE champion, Damage. Wait. That's not right. There should only be one. So, those are ours. We got 2 male solo champions, 2 female solo champions, and 2 both gendered tag team champs. And we're going to be simming to every PLE to see who gets champion and who remains champion. So we got Demon Finn Balor versus Jacob Fatu. 6-man tag team. Sonya, Stephanie, Zoe, and then we got Nikki, Lyra, and Rhea. We got Tatum Paxley versus Lita. Uncle Howdy versus Kane versus Undertaker. Chris Sabin and Alex Shelby versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. And then we got Bronson Reed versus JD McDonough in a no-holds-barred match. And we got, for the championship, Asuka and Kairi Sane versus Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez. So we're going to simulate all matches. Demon Finn Balor lost to Jacob Fatu. Sonya, Stephanie, and Zoe all beat Nikki, Lyra, and Rhea Ripley. Lita beat Tatum Paxley. Undertaker beat Kane and Uncle Howdy in the triple threat. I really thought Kane and Undertaker would work together, but Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, they win against Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Bronson Reed hits the tsunami on JD McDonough to win the match in a no-holds-barred. And Asuka and Kairi Sane stay champions against Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez. So now, we're going to go all the way to Clash at the Castle in Scotland. And up first, we got Bronson Reed versus JD McDonough. Second, we got Jacob Fatu versus Javon Evans. We got Shayna Baszler versus Bayley. Braun Breaker and the Boogeyman versus Akam and Razor. Braun Strowman and Dirty Dom versus Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. Then we got Asuka and Kairi Sane in an Extreme Rules tag match versus Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez for the championship. And then for the main event, we got Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu versus CM Punk in a triple threat table match for the WWE Championship. This is going to be one heck of a show. Alright, so we got Bronson getting the dub over JD McDonough in a steel cage. Jacob got the dub over Javon Evans. Shayna Baszler beat Bayley. Boogeyman and Braun Breaker beat Akam and Razor. Braun and Dirty Dom beat Chris Sabin and Alex Shelby. Asuka and Kairi Sane lose to Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez, making Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan the new championships, or the tag team championships. And Drew McIntyre wins in Scotland against Jacob Fatu and CM Punk to become the new WWE champion. Wow. Clash in that castle in Scotland really got my boy Drew going. Alright, let's see what we got at Money in the Bank. Up first we got Asuka versus Kairi Sane, or Asuka and Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. We got Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis versus Akam and Razor. Eric Rowan versus Kane. Lyra Valkyria versus Stephanie Valkyr in a steel cage match for the title. And then we got J.D. McDonough versus Ivar. Baron Corbin versus Diamond Dallas Page. And then we got a 2-on-2 Extreme Rules tag match with Chris Sabin and Alex Shelby versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson for the championships. And then for the main event, we got a 5-way TLC match for the Money in the Bank with Penta versus Damian Priest versus Braun Strowman versus Bronson Reed versus The Undertaker. This is going to be crazy. Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler get the W over Asuka and Kairi Sane. Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis fall just short to Akam and Razor. Eric Rowan beats Kane. Gotta be a good match. Lyra Valkyria dethrones Stephanie Vakir in a steel cage match and is the new women's champion. Ivar beats J.D. McDonough. Diamond Dallas Page beats Baron Corbin. Kind of figured that happened. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson are the new champions. They beat Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley in an Extreme Rules match. And Penta won the Money in the Bank. Penta versus Damian Priest versus Strowman versus Bronson Reed and versus Undertaker. And he defeats all odds and somehow gets past Strowman, Bronson, Undertaker. That's crazy. Let's check out the news on this one. Luke Gallows entered the ring to address the audience on behalf of his partner, champion, delivering a huge message the WWE Universe is all ears after hearing his promise that his team will close out the rivalry with a win, and everybody's now eager to see if the tag champs will back up their words. Well, they did. Braun Breaker took advantage of the no disqualifications of the match by entering the ring, attacking Finn Balor. Holy man. Braun Breaker and J.D. McDonough are proving to be a dangerous team as they take any opportunity they can to pick apart their rivals one at a time. And Lyra Valkyria is the women's champion. That's crazy. Good job, Penta. Oh, we got SummerSlam up next. Let's see what SummerSlam's got in tail for us. Alright, for matches, first up we got Uncle Howdy versus Eric versus the Boogeyman. Our second one, we got Eric Rowan versus Undertaker in a casket match. That's going to be a good one. Baron Corbin versus Bronson Reed. Demon Finn Balor versus Ivar versus Karrion Kross. We got a triple tag table match versus Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez versus Asuka and Kairi Sane and versus Nia Jax and Tamina for the women's championship. We got Alex Shelley versus Penta. Akam and Razor versus Bray Wyatt and CM Punk. We're going to simulate all matches. Uncle Howdy and Boogeyman fall short to Eric. Undertaker wins the casket match against Eric Rowan. Bronson Reed hits that tsunami on Baron Corbin to get that W. Karrion Kross destroys competition against Demon Finn Balor and Ivar. And Nia Jax and Tamina win the championships. What? I did not see that coming. I thought Liv Morgan and Roxanne would retain. Wow. Penta beats Alex Shelley. Let's go. I love Penta. And Akam and Razor beat Bray Wyatt and CM Punk. That's crazy. Nia Jax and Tamina have won the women's tag team champs. Wow. I did not see that coming. Oh yeah, we gotta go to the next SummerSlam the next day. Let's see how good this one is. Alright guys, so we got Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. The Brawns versus the Wyatt Six. We got Nikki Cross versus Scarlett in an Extreme Rules match. Solo Sikoa versus Karrion Kross. Stephanie Vakir versus Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria for the Women's Championship in a Falls Count Anywhere match. That's crazy. Chris Sabin versus Dirty Dom in 8-man battle royal for the WWE Championship versus Javon Evans versus Omos versus Seth Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins, actually. He's not even wearing his shoot attire. Versus Baron Corbin versus Damian Priest versus Bray Wyatt versus JD McDonough versus Drew McIntyre. Which Drew is the champion, so let's see if he can retain. In our main event for SummerSlam, to close off SummerSlam, Razor and Akam versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson in a tag match. Let's simulate and see what we get. Alright, we got the Bronze taking the W over the Wyatt Six. Nikki Cross gets the W over Scarlett in an Extreme Rules match. Solo Sikoa beats Karrion Kross in a normal match. Lyra Valkyria is the new women's champion. Becky Lynch and Stephanie Vakir just fall short. Dirty Dom gets a W over Chris Sabin. Damian Priest is the new WWE champion. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson retain the championships. Wow. That's crazy. Which one we got next? Bash in Berlin. Sweet, we got Bash in Berlin. Let's see what we got here. At Bash in Berlin, we got JD McDonough and Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre and Braun Breaker. Joe Gacy versus Braun Strowman. Scarlett versus Alexa Bliss. Stephanie Vakir versus Lita. Tatum Paxley versus Valhalla. Damian Priest versus Baron Corbin. In the main event, we got a 2-on-2 tag team for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Nia Jax and Tamina versus Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler. Let's simulate all these matches and see what we get. Drew McIntyre and Braun Breaker beat JD McDonough and Finn Balor. Braun Strowman beats Joe Gacy. Scarlett beats Alexa Bliss. Lita beats Stephanie Vakir. Valhalla beats Tatum Paxley. Damian beats Baron. And Sonya and Shayna are the new women's tag champs. They win against Nia Jax and Tamina. Wow. Dang, we go all the way to War Games. We got Saturday main event, Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania. Heck yeah. What are we in? Oh, we go to War Games. It's War Game time. At War Games, we got Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, Becky Lynch, and Nikki Cross versus Stephanie McKeer, Lita, Valhalla, and Tatum Paxley. And then we got Lyra Valkyria versus Nia Jax, Michin versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's Championship, Baron Corbin versus Dexter Lumis, Asuka and Kairi Sane versus Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler for the Women's Championship, JD McDonough and Finn Balor versus Chris Sabin and Alex Shelby. We got Kane versus Jacob Fatu, Bronson versus Drew. And then for the War Games, we got Damian Priest, Razor, Karrion Kross, Akam versus Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, Braun Breaker, and Penta. Is Braun wrestling twice? I swear it's Bronson, not Braun Breaker. Never mind. Alright, we're going to simulate all matches. And we're going to see who wins. Stephanie McKeer, Lita, Valhalla, and Tatum Paxley get the W. Lyra Valkyria gets the win over Nia Jax. Rhea Ripley retains championship against Michin. Baron Corbin beats Dexter Lumis. Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler keep the championships against Asuka and Kairi Sane. Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley get the W. Jacob Fatu beats Kane. Bronson versus Drew. Braun won. And Damian Priest, Razor, Karrion Kross, and Akam get the win over Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, Braun Breaker, and Penta. Up next, we got Saturday night main event. Alright, let's see what we got. We got a rematch. We got Asuka versus Kairi Sane versus Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler for the championship. We got Penta versus Braun Breaker for the championship. Please, Penta, win, please. Kane versus Baron Corbin. Bronson Reed versus Drew McIntyre. Omos versus CM Punk in a no-hold-barred. One of them is going to get hurt. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, last woman standing for the championship. In a no-holds-barred as well. Damian Priest versus Demon Finn Balor for the championship. This is gonna get crazy. Asuka and Kairi Sane get the championships back from Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler. So they're right back to where they started. Penta gets a W over Braun Breaker. Kane beats Baron Corbin. Drew McIntyre beats Bronson Reed. CM Punk beats Omos in a no-holds-barred. How do you take down the 7-foot giant? Liv Morgan is the new women's champion in the last man standing against Rhea. And Finn Balor beat Demon Finn Balor beat Damian Priest in no-holds-barred. Let's check out the news on this one. Damian Priest came down to ringside while brooding as he watched his rival match. He made his move after the match and attacking Demon Finn Balor. Demon Finn Balor is starting a brawl between the two superstars. Their hostility may be past the point of no return, both of them wanting to beat each other in the fights instead of matches. Drew McIntyre came down to ringside before his rival's match with wicked intent, entering the ring and attacking Bronson Reed to end the match in disqualification. The tension between these superstars has grown out of control. Both of their intents are hurting each other. Asuka and Kairi Sane are the new women champions. Drew McIntyre came out Drew McIntyre came out on top over Bronson Reed at the end of their rivalry and took the spotlight of the WWE Universe's attention with this victory. The success tonight has caught the attention of the fans to see how much of his potential is fulfilled in his future matches and if he can push farther past that. Liv Morgan is women's champion. Demon Finn Balor showed he would do whatever it took to win and end his rivalry with Damian Priest, even going as far as injuring him. Early estimates say that he'll be out of action for at least a few months. Dude! Demon Finn Balor, dude! Relax! Demon Finn Balor is the new WWE champion. Dude, Finn Balor, chill. Let's see what we got. Up first, we got the Women's Royal Rumble. We got Stephanie McKeer versus Rhea Ripley. Kairi Sane versus Sonya Deville. Penta versus Carl Anderson for the championship. Demon Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre in a TLC match for the championship. Finn Balor, if you hurt McIntyre, I'm going to have to kick you off my show. Valhalla versus Lita, Scarlett versus Asuka, Lyra Valkyria versus Liv Morgan for the championship, and then the Men's Royal Rumble. Let's simulate. Doesn't tell us the winner. We'll have to check the news. Oh, it does. Nia Jax is the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble. Rhea Ripley got the W over Stephanie McKeer. Kairi Sane beat Sonya Deville. Penta retains against Carl Anderson. Finn Balor also retains against Drew McIntyre. Valhalla beats Lita. Scarlett beat Asuka. Liv Morgan retains against Lyra Valkyria. And The Undertaker is the Royal Rumble winner. Dang. That's crazy. So we got Elimination Chamber, and then we got WrestleMania. This is going to be a good one. First, we got the Men's Elimination Chamber. Alex Shelley versus Braun Strowman versus Bronson Reed versus Eric Rowan versus Eric versus Jacob Fatu. We got Drew McIntyre versus Demon Finn Balor for the WWE Championship. Rhea Ripley versus Lyra Valkyria. Asuka and Kairi Sane versus Shayna and Zoe Stark. Penta versus Javon Evans for the title. Tatum Paxley versus Scarlett. Diamond Dallas Page versus CM Punk. Two legends going at it. Tamina versus Liv Morgan for the championship. Where did Tamina come from for that? And then the women's elimination chamber, we got Lita versus Alexa Bliss versus Stephanie McKeer versus Io Sky versus Bayley versus Becky Lynch. Simulating all matches. Bronson Reed gets the W in the elimination chamber. Demon Finn Balor still retains champion. Lyra Valkyria beats Rhea. Asuka and Kairi Sane beat Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. Penta retains again against Javon Evans. Tatum Paxley beat Scarlett. CM Punk beat Diamond Dallas Page. Tamina is the new champion. She beat Liv Morgan. And Lita is the Elimination Chamber winner. Wow. I guess we're going to WrestleMania and see what they got in store for us. Up first, we got Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane and Asuka. We got Rhea Ripley and Michin versus Stephanie McKeer and Lita. Bray Wyatt versus Omos. Bronson Reed versus Uncle Howdy. Roxanne Perez and Tamina for the championship. Io Sky and Tatum Paxley. And Drew McIntyre and Demon Finn Balor to settle it once and for all at WrestleMania for the championship. Balls count anywhere. This is going to be crazy. Kairi Sane and Asuka win and keep the championships. Rhea Ripley and Michin beat Stephanie McKeer and Lita. Bray Wyatt versus Omos. Bray Wyatt beat Omos. There we go. Uncle Howdy beat Bronson Reed. Tamina retains champion. Tatum Paxley beats Io Sky. And Demon Finn Balor beat Drew McIntyre in a Falls Count Anywhere. Bro. Demon Finn Balor is crazy. Hold up, let me read the news on this. Well, that was last week, never mind. That's crazy. Let's go to the second day of WrestleMania. Alright, up first we got Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan, which is who she wanted since she won the Royal Rumble. For the championship, by the way. We got Shayna Baszler and Sonya Deville versus Kairi Sane and Asuka versus Roxanne Perez and Tatum Paxley versus Nikki Cross and Bayley. Then we got Damian Priest versus the Boogeyman. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows versus Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis for the championship. Michin versus Alexa Bliss. Diamond Dallas Page versus Akam. And The Undertaker versus Penta, because that's who he wanted since he won Royal Rumble. Last man standing for the championship. Let's sim. There we go. Nia Jax gets the women's championship. Kairi Sane and Asuka got the W. Damian Priest beat Boogeyman. Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis, the White Six, are the new tag team champions. Michin beat Alexa Bliss. Diamond Dallas Page beat Akam. Moment of truth. Penta retains and gets the win over The Undertaker. So that is it for the PLEs. Now, the women's tag team stayed the same. This one was, which is now Tamina, it was, who did I have it as? I don't know who I had it as. Oh, Rhea Ripley. And then this one was Stephanie McKeer. So both of those changed. This one changed. Those over here, this was Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. And now it's the Wyatt Six. Then Penta, the hardcore champion, was who's the one that got injured? Oh, Drew McIntyre. I think. No, Drew McIntyre was the WWE champion. Hardcore champion was. Who was my hardcore champ? I don't know. Anyways, but thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see y'all on the next one.